everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Charlotte.
My name's Gabi.
And today we are back with another test drive video. Thank you guys so much for all of your feedback on these videos, and it seems like you guys have really been enjoying them, so we want to make more of them. So today we are obviously in a very, very popular vehicle. We are in the 2022 Kia EV6, and this is the long-range all-wheel drive package 2.
GT-Line Package
GT-Line Package 2. There's a lot of words in there. It's a long trim.
Yeah. Guys, give us some slack or cut us some slack.
And the nice thing about this vehicle is that we actually just had the 23 information released, and it is pretty much a carryover model, so a lot of the driving experience is going to be very, very similar. Of course, it does have the addition of the actual GT, which we are very excited to see. So what we're going to be doing in today's video is I'm going to be focusing more on what is it like as a passenger in this vehicle, what is the passenger experience like as far as tech, as far as comfort, and visibility, and Gabi is really going to be focusing on driving, which is good, and why I'm doing the intro, and also the different features that we do have in this vehicle.
All right, so we're about to turn onto our country roads. We definitely like test driving our vehicles there because it gives us a little bit more of a windy road. We get some higher speed limits there as well too, and of course no traffic. It's a little easier to film. So I do have to say the EV6 corners exceptionally well. The steering radius is very, very good, and the stability of the vehicle itself is also quite good. Of course, if you've never driven an EV6 before, you may not know this, but you have instant torque with an EV. So even our Kia Soul EV, it didn't look like a sports car, and it certainly wasn't. It was an EV, but if you step on the gas, you're gonna go, and it's gonna be incredibly fast. Now, this may not be attractive to everybody, but it's nice to know that you have that extra power when you need it, or that instant power. I am driving it in eco mode right now, so this is going to be a little bit of a more sluggish acceleration, but even then, its sluggish is insane compared to a regular gasoline vehicle, unless you're looking at a sports car. You also have a normal drive mode and a sport mode, and in our all-wheel drive models, you also have a snow mode, which is going to give you more of an even split between your torque for the all-wheel drive system. Not a complete 50-50, but more traction for sure. Another thing that we have available in our EV6 is regenerative braking via your paddle shifters that are just right behind your steering wheel. You may or may not be able to see them. We're trying to show them. So right now I have it on level 1, which is a very, very light form of it. There's additionally a level 2, a level 3, and an I pedal, which is essentially going to be one pedal driving. As soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, it is going to almost completely take you to a, not almost completely, it will completely take you to a stop. Level 3 will be a little bit lighter, but it's definitely a lot of brake force, and then so on and so forth. Level 1 will be the lightest, and 0 will have none. The main thing with regenerative braking is it builds a little bit of power back into your electric motor, so kind of increases your range a little bit or helps maintain it a bit. Very, very great if you're just doing a lot of city driving. On the highway, it's not too useful. And then if your vehicle is fully charged, regenerative braking will not work. Now we are just behind these guys, so we're going to take it easy for a little bit, and we'll be back once we have a clear road to actually drive on. If you guys are wondering what it's like test driving in Brantford, it's that.
This is what it's like.
You will probably get stuck behind some tractors, or you may see some cows, some horses. We are a very small dealership run by family, and we will treat you like family. And then you get to go for a nice country ride or test drive through the country. But back to the EV6. Now we have an open road. We can actually go up to our speed limit, which is 80 over here. I do want to show you guys the heads-up display because it is quite cool in the GT Pack 2. It's only available on the top level trim. You have two different modes. So you have augmented reality mode and just a regular heads-up display mode. They're both very, very different, and both of them are very cool. You can choose what's displayed for the driver's settings. If you only want to see the speed, you could totally do that. Or if you want to see kind of everything, like your music, what's in your blind spot, that is also an option. Now, Charlotte has mentioned this is our fully loaded model, so we have just about every bell, whistle, safety feature that is available. One thing I really, really love is the steering assistance. So I have it on right now, and you'll see neither hand is on the wheel. There's a curve in the road, and the car is following the road. So it works exceptional on highways, even in the city as well too. As long as there's a clear view of the lane or a vehicle ahead of you, the system works great. You also have adaptive cruise control, so if there is a vehicle ahead of you, you can set how close you want to follow, and it'll work all the way up into stop and go traffic. So if you live in a big city or you're just driving through traffic a lot, it is a great function to use. As soon as you do stop, so let's say traffic comes to a complete halt, Once everything starts moving, it'll give you a warning that things are moving again, and then you either touch your gas pedal or touch the speed increase on your cruise control selector to get moving again. So very, very cool. This vehicle also has automated lane changes with your highway drive assist. So essentially, highway drive assist is a combination of the smart cruise control, the steering assistance, the collision avoidance, everything working together to completely drive for you. You do have to keep your hands on the wheel. It's not a full autopilot, but it's pretty darn close, and it is so smooth. We have done a video about the automated lane change, and we will attach that in the link below if you want to see that specifically.
All right, so I'm going to dip in and start talking about some of our tech and comfort features. So if you're able to see, or if you have seen these vehicles before, you know that we do have the two-toned leather with the suede on them as well. And so these seats really help to keep you in place because it does have that suede insert. And as Gabby mentioned, this is a very powerful vehicle. So sometimes it's nice to have a little bit extra grip to keep you in place. Now, as far as display and as far as technology goes, obviously you can see that we have two of the bigger screens. We have the large supervision cluster here up at the front, and it is angled towards the driver. Now, just because it's angled towards the driver doesn't mean that the passenger doesn't have any interaction with it. Obviously, I can perfectly see everything that's on both screens, believe it or not, but it is angled more towards Gabby for the convenience of her driving it too, because ultimately the driver is the one in control. And then for your center console, it is elongated. So up at the top, you have all of your controls for heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats as well. Also your wireless phone charger. Some people love this location, some people don't like it. I've seen the complaint that people think it's distracting, where you'd be looking down and backwards at your phone if you were to get a notification, especially since it does have to sit face up. I personally, it doesn't really bother me as much. My least favorite one is probably with what's in the Sorrento because I find it darker and harder to see. But that's just my personal taste as well. And then you do get two cup holders and another little convenience pocket here as well. So really easy to slip your keys or your change or something smaller in there too. Now, the big change that we see on the EV6 from our previous models, not the EV6, but just Kia in general, is that we have the piano black touch bar here too. Some people love to hate it. For me, I'm not 100% sold on if it's my favorite approach to media and climate controls, but I do like it. I like the look of it. Not sure if I love the practicality from the driver's perspective of it. For the passenger, it doesn't matter as much because, you know, you're not the one focusing on driving. But sometimes it's like, I want to turn up my music or I want to turn it down, and I end up, you know, blasting the heat or something like that, when really I have to change it first and then I'm able to control the volume. And I'm going to turn that back down. That way we don't have any noise coming in from the fans. I just grabbed the camera from Mark to show you guys what else I'm talking about. So here is down by my feet. Now the thing about having the bigger screens is that you do have wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Now the only thing about that is typically that doesn't bother me. Like, I'm fine with wired Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but your USB ports are down at the bottom. So it is a longer way to go for connectivity, especially if you want to be using your phone too. Now, something I do like is that you have a USB-C and a USB, and then also another USB port and also your 12 volt. And it is nice to have this convenience pocket here. I've personally, when I'm a passenger in this vehicle, will put my bag in there. It's nice to keep it off of the ground, and it keeps, you know, my space clear for my feet as well. So that is something that I really like about this vehicle.
All right, and another thing I wanted to mention to you guys is the full 360 camera that's available in the GT-Line Package 1 and 2. It is crystal clear. You have sensors around both vehicles, so front and rear. So essentially, to make that 360 image, it uses the cameras from the front of the vehicle, the sides of the vehicle, which are located just under the mirror, and then your rear view camera. Projects that entire fully live feed display. You can watch it while you're reversing, while you're moving forwards. As long as you're under 10 kilometers per hour, it will display. Another reason why I love it so much is, let's say you're in a drive-through and you're trying to get close to the wall to order. The EV6 is generally quite a wide vehicle. If you get a little bit too close to something, it's going to automatically start beeping at you and then pull up the camera feed so you can see just how close you are. We definitely really appreciate it at the at the dealership, because sometimes we have to park our cars very close and very tight to each other. So it's a great feature to have then. I think you guys could tell these roads are very, very windy. A lot of them are very slim as well too. I do have to say, although this vehicle is a bit wider, it still handles very much like a car. It is very easy to maneuver around rough roads like this, tiny roads. The all-wheel drive is great as well too. Of course, we don't have any snow to test it on, but we have done a winter video on the EV6 already. It is a phenomenal vehicle, such a pleasure to drive, and also very, very smooth and very quiet. So the road noise is not bad at all. Of course, you don't have any engine noise. If you're traveling at very high speeds, you might hear a bit of motor noise. But other than that, she is completely silent. You can also see our live feed from our turn signal camera as well too. So really great if you're changing lanes on the highway or just turning and you want to see how close you are to the curb or whatnot. Now we're going to slowly head back to our dealership and we'll show you a couple more features once we get there. All right, so now we are in the EV6 in the driver's side and inside our dealership. You can see we have our lane assist settings shown, our speed, which is 0 kilometers right now. And this is just your regular heads-up display. You can also have it augmented reality where it's going to look very, very virtual and very cool. If I had a route set in my navigation or if I had my cruise control on, it would kind of give, it looks almost like a video game, lines showing you and arrows showing you when to turn, when to stop when you're getting too close to the car ahead of you. It is a very, very interesting system. If you want to see more about it, unfortunately I can't show you while we're driving because our camera setup just isn't that great. You can search it up on Kia Canada's website. Usually when you look at the EV6, it'll give a kind of a explanation and brochure of these features. Alright guys, so that sums up our video of the test drive for our EV6 GT-Line Package 2. Now we do have an EV6 that is available for test driving. If you are in the Ontario area, Brantford area, or even a bit further and you're willing to make the trip out here, we would love to set you up on a test drive so you can see it for yourself. It is truly a phenomenal vehicle and so much fun to drive. We love to share first EV test drive experiences or EV6 test drive experiences with our customers. We would love to walk you through it and set it up for you guys.
So hopefully that you guys enjoyed this video today. Obviously there's been a lot of hype in the media and with people in the car world about the EV6. So hopefully showing you guys this video and what it's actually like driving it gives you a little bit more of a realistic perspective and also shows you that we think it's worth all that.
Absolutely.
It's a pretty great vehicle to drive and it does boast some great comfort features. Obviously no vehicle is ever going to be perfect and depending on your personal design and tech standpoints, some features are going to be for you and some aren't. But again, like what Gabby was saying, if you want to come and take ours for a test drive, you are more than welcome to and we would love to meet you in person too. So thank you guys so much for watching and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.